It's the warmest year around the globe in recorded history.
July was the single hottest month in recorded history.
The phenomenon was a short-term trigger to a long-term global warming caused by human activity.
Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent.
It's the rate that's of great concern.
And what do you put that rate down to?
Oh, it's human activity.
Our civilizations arose in large part because of the last 12,000-year period of climatic stability. This stability ultimately gave rise to international trade in ideas as well as goods. However, we've taken that stability for granted. Our economies and political systems are unconsciously predicated on the belief that nature will continue to be a benign and regular provider of the conditions we need to thrive.
But what worries us most is this. We are starting to see an acceleration of warming over the past 50 years. And we're following a pathway that takes us to 2.7 degrees Celsius in only 70 years. And if you look 3 million years back, we never exceeded 2 degrees Celsius. We're seeing bigger and bigger invoices being sent by the Earth system onto societies across the entire world in droughts, floods, heat waves, disease patterns, human reinforced storms, scientifically attributed to human-caused climate change.
Actually, a homeowner has decided to stay back and protect his property, which we never recommend, because what we're seeing right now can come up on us within minutes.
5-gallon pails of gel.
Gives us time.
Take copy.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
Why have you rolled back the Obama Clean Power Plan, which limited carbon emissions in power plants? Why have you relaxed fuel economy standards that are going to create more pollution from cars?
We have nearly 100 years worth of natural gas and more than 250 years worth of clean, beautiful coal.
We are putting the coal miners back to work, just like I promised.
In regard to the construction of the Keystone Pipeline.
To contain the biggest oil spill in the history of the existing Keystone Pipeline. Nearly 600,000 gallons of oil have gushed out of the pipeline in rural Kansas over the last few days.
The seas will rise over the next 400 years, 1/8 of an inch, you know, which means basically you have a little more beachfront property, okay?
We'll have a little bit more beachfront property. That's not the worst thing in the world. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually. All of this with the global warming and that, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax.
He said the concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese.
I'm not a big believer in man-made climate change.
No more drilling on federal lands, period. Period, period, period.
Argued against any more oil drilling or gas drilling on federal lands.
On the campaign trail, President Biden repeatedly promised there would be no new fossil fuel drilling on federal land. This week, the administration approved the Willow Oil Project, a new development by ConocoPhillips near the Arctic Ocean on the North Slope of Alaska.
Environmentalists say it's a carbon bomb, with some indigenous groups warning it will damage local wildlife and traditional hunting practices.
We have ample evidence that citizens across the world, a majority of them, care about nature and climate. They trust climate science, they're concerned about climate change, and they want solutions. Halfway into this decade, the road is steeper than ever. Linear change is no longer an option. The only option is exponential change.
So how do we speed up that giant boulder so we can fix climate change in time? The number one way is by talking about it.
This is what really, really concerns us, that we have a situation where we now need to move so fast.
The people alive now, the generation to come, will look at this conference and consider one thing. Did that number stop rising and start to drop as a result of commitments made here? There's every reason to believe that the answer can be yes. Surely, working together, we are powerful enough to save it.
This means, dear friends, that solving the planetary crisis is not only necessary, it is possible, and we all win if we succeed.